Twitch chat is going. Gabby did nothing wrong, and it's been another month, so here we are. Last minute predictions. Last month, something revolutionary happened, and the chapter review got more views than last minute predictions, so we're making progress with these awful videos. But here we are to vaguely predict what's going to happen in the chapter, to get our speculations up, to speculate and get excited, because in a few days we'll have another 40 pages or so of Attack on Titan, and they've all been great for the last fucking 10 years. So we got Eren, now what is what we're calling this one. Put Eren in that thumbnail, put him in the title, you're raking them views, even if you're shit talking most of the time. Attack on Titan chapter 131, last minute predictions. We are currently live on Twitch. We are on 12 big time viewers. I think we have killed stream this month. I'm pretty sure last month we were pulling better numbers, but fuck it. Help us pull better numbers by coming and joining the Twitch. I'm sure the link is in the description. Don't you want to be involved? Don't you want to come in and shit talk and chat? We got Minty, we got Anne, Summer Poseidon is here. All the usuals. Eren and Historia, that's some dangerous shit when you're putting both of them in the thumbnail. You might get a 30,000 viewed fucking theory video. 30,000 views that my fucking theory video has. We're currently live on Twitch. No, you aren't. At the time people will see it, idiot. Not false. I must be a fucking moron. But how many panels we got? 4, 5. We got 5 panels. We usually do 4 for last minute predictions, and they usually go for like fucking 20 minutes at least, these videos. But we got a shit ton to speculate about. Not really, because last chapter was like weird and completely like self-contained as like an Eren thing, and we got no other progress, and it sort of came out of nowhere. The transition was a weird bird flying overhead. That could have more significance later. We'll have to wait and see. I'm sure we'll talk about all this now. But last chapter was fun. Every chapter was good. We'll see if this one continues. Maybe we'll finally get a bad chapter. We never know. But we're going to start with Eren talk, as we always should. Chat's still going. I'm going to try and read it as we progress. Talking about Walpole from One Piece. That's fun. Yeah, that's right, YouTube fuckers. I'm the one who made that epic Levi video. Oh yeah, Minty's here. If you watched our Levi video that recently came out that wasn't about Levi at all, but all the comments are about Levi, that's fun. I think Eren represents freedom, Son of Poseidon says. He's got a brave take in chat. I wrote 55% of that script, to be honest. Not false. Smitty contributed his successful cast channel more than he ever did. If you count Twitch content, maybe. But what happens with Eren now? Look at this remember the art from the end of the last chapter? It was cool. Remember that shit? I'm sure this will probably be the thumbnail. Look at this cool ass shit. Look at these fucking idiots running in fear. Fucking colossal titans layered, not just one layer, but like a fucking army of these fuckers. As far as the eye can see. As far as the panel will show. Buildings covering him up over here though. God, he's pretty. Look at this fucking Titan design. It's so good. Fucking terrifying. He's the good guy, though, guys. Remember that. The rumbling has begun. We saw it last chapter, so what do we get from Eren now that he's clearly the bad guy? I'm sure people are still... there are still people who are morally defending him. There is a difference between understandable and morally justified, please remember. I sort of tacked this on, but if you remember, a long time ago, like 2 months ago, made a video about Eren being morally justified. And I don't think people understand the difference between being understandable and being morally justified. Obviously, there is no defense for Eren being morally justified. This is not self-defense anymore, obviously. That was the last, like, bastion of somewhat... Either that or Eren wasn't actually going to do the rumbling, were like the only last moral defenses of him. Him being understandable, like we understand why Eren has come to this, it makes sense. Like he got fucked over, so he's going to fuck everybody over to protect his friends, even though they don't want to do this. Taking consent and authority and autonomy rather away from all of them. We get it. So I don't know, I just wanted to mention that because these videos get a lot of views and people need to understand there's a difference between these two things. And Eren is one of them and he isn't the other. But he's very clearly... How could you call someone with this a character design a good guy? It would be some true, like, next level, the devil is the good guy type shit if we would do that. Look at them devilly ears he's got. And the weird, creepy shit. I don't know. There are still people out there. We've still got Eren stands around that aren't just, like, stands because I like his character, bro, but they really, like, endorse everything he does, which is fun. I think we're probably going to get more pages of Eren killing thousands of innocent people to reinforce the horrors of what he's doing. I can't wait for people to say that Isayama is manipulating them into trying to dislike Eren when we show like him trampling on like a 5-year-old's body. It's going to be fun. But he's not going to get the proper focus again until the final confrontation with the Alliance that might be in the chapter after the next. I don't think we're getting much Eren until the final confrontation. I think we will probably see like, again, destruction, but I don't think we're getting any more internal thoughts from Eren. I don't think we need any more. I feel like the more I think about it, I don't think we're ever going to get confirmation if the baby is his. I think it's much better that way. Like, you show some initiative. Isama doesn't have to spell everything fucking out for you. Either it was the farmer or it was Eren. You can think about it. It seems to indicate that it's Eren last chapter. Maybe it wasn't. It doesn't really matter. It was just a plot-like thing, so Historia couldn't become the Beast Titan real quick. It makes sense. And the implication is far funner than actually being told, though I'm pretty sure our shonen baby friends aren't going to like that. Because, analysis communities love exposition when it's about their theory crafting, but hate it when they're trying to analyze stories, and everybody's a hypocrite, so... I think chapter 131 will mostly be an Alliance chapter, almost certainly, which I much prefer. Definitely the Alliance is much more interesting than Eren, at least to me, so I'm fine with this not being an Eren chapter. I'm sure maybe we'll start with Eren stomping on some idiots. These three particularly, they're dead. This one, he's going to run away for a little while, but he's going to get killed. I guess the plan is to kill everybody here, no survivors, even though I think that's probably impossible. Even if he rumbles the rest of the world, there's got to be some little underground bunker that some idiots are going to live in. But let me just check on chat. Minty's making fun of Jaeger people. Jaegerists, rather, not Jaeger people. He's just doing it to protect his people. He doesn't want to do this. He still might... Him wanting to do this is still sort of a question. He feels like he needs to more than he wants to do it. What a tsundere. No JoJo reference. I don't know what's going on here. What is chat doing? What else are we... I see Mighty Germ, he showed up. Where Zeke, we'll talk about that later, actually. Wait, what if Ymir is the child on the final page? What if, amazingly. Ymir will not be reincarnated. Maybe she will be, and maybe this will get clipped into a compilation where people are like, actually, Ymir did get reincarnated, and we're going to make fun of everybody that made fun of us. But I seriously doubt that Ymir... This reincarnation theory is my least favorite theory I think I've ever seen. Reincarnation, why? Why would you want her to come back? It was perfect. Let her, she's dead. She gave up, and, she died, and she gave her power to Eren. More than whatever dying means to her at this point. God, it's so good. Don't have her come back. I don't need that shit. Carl, they already died. That was the last double spread. Was it? Oh, yeah, whatever. I was making fun of them. I wasn't actually theorizing about the survival of this bloke here and this one, but this one running away for a little while. I hate that theory. Yeah, the reincarnation theory is dumb as fuck. But yeah, that's Eren. Get him the fuck out of here. Is Annie going off on her own? The only other thing we got last chapter besides Eren stuff was Annie stuff at the very beginning, which we'll talk about here. Annie initially, after learning her father was lost to the rumbling, wanted to leave the airship either because despite the evidence she still wanted to try and save her father, or she had given up and doesn't care about this dispute anymore, as in she doesn't care about why would she fight against Eren. If she can't save her father, what's the point in her doing it? But then it seems like she's slowly coming around to the idea of fighting to save the world, especially in the official translation. Yeah, I did reread the official translations that's now overtaken on all the sites. The original amateur translation we got, and it definitely seems more in that Annie is not going to go off on her own, and she's actually thinking through it in real time and being well, what are we gonna do then? But doesn't know if anyone is willing to kill Eren at this point, even herself. She does talk about how I don't really have the motivation to kill you guys anymore, and I don't think anyone has the motivation to keep going and to go and kill Eren. This will be a big thing we'll talk about later. Everybody is very tired, and they don't want to deal with this shit. Look at PX on all fours. She nearly got eaten 3 fucking minutes ago. Ryan is always fucking looking like this. John is exhausted. We know that. He just wants to give up. Mikasa probably just wants to get to Eren, but she's exhausted too. Louise just died. It's weighing on her. And obviously Annie's got the whole thing. Everybody's fucked up in a million different ways. And it's all from more recent shit too. From this arc too. I remember I made a Patreon video called The Ghosts That Haunt the Characters of Attack on Titan. And I feel like that's more evident now than ever. Of everybody's been fucked over this last arc. Everybody's suffering. It's so good. For recent stuff. John's talk with Marco pissed him off. He wants to just bury his head in the sand. But in true John fashion, it's been his struggle the entire fucking series that he has to fight for what he believes in. And shit like that. He can't give up. It's just great stuff all around. Especially this panel. Look at him. Look at them all characterized well. So obviously Annie is in need of development and probably isn't going to go off on her own, but it's a great detail. Well, she obviously has to stay around because she needs development, unless we have like a whole Annie side story of her going and being a different perspective on the ground, though I don't think that's going to happen now, considering we have like 5 chapters left. Her very different... but it's a great detail that Isama is writing in her very different perspective on this, since she hasn't been fighting as long as everybody else. She had a nap, remember, for 7 years? Wait, how long was she in the crystal? 4 years, right? 7? No, 4. Time skips are weird. Who gives a fuck? It doesn't matter. So she's not as invested as they are. In saving the world. It's good stuff, and interesting stuff with Annie seems to be coming soon. Obviously, it's good that Isama is giving Annie focus here. Not only does she need development, obviously, to justify her coming back and having any role narratively and thematically, pointing out that Annie is not going to be on the same page as everybody else because she hasn't been, existing, in these last 5 or however many years it has been, where they've all learned different things. Annie's got to learn all that, now. And it's got to be a bit of a culture shock here. Culture shock, catch-up shock, whatever the fuck. And it's clearly shown in her character here. So it's a good little thing. Isama didn't have to address this. He could have just made Annie stoic still and had her just act like she understood everything and not spend any time catching her up or stuff like that. But here we are. He did it. Good stuff. Let me check chat as we've moved on a little bit here. It seems to be a lot of Anne and Poseidon here. Still on 11 viewers. We're going good. Yeah, it's 4. York said. No one knows, son, except for me, maybe not. Lots of speculation with Annie. That's a good point. York, what are we doing? If Eren is doing this to protect his friends, this could stem from him choosing for them instead of trusting them like he did with the first Levi's Code, which resulted in their deaths. I pointed this out before when for some video, I went back and I read some of that that female Titan arc stuff, and I remember that exact moment where Levi tells Eren to choose, and Eren chooses to trust in other people, and it backfires massively. So it's sort of from that situation and things that happen later, Eren learned to not trust people and to do things by himself for them, which is obviously morally bad. But yeah, it makes sense. Again, understandable, not morally justified. Carl, they already died. Yeah, I already heard that one. Minty hasn't said shit. But that is a good point, York. If I hadn't brought it up before, I would think it was more impressive. But, I'm ahead of everybody over here. Massive brain. The biggest brain. What else is going on? I fucking thought I was going to say something before that, but I can't remember now. Mighty Germ is still here. Hey guys, do you know in terms of male and human Titan breeding? Yes, Minty's doing a meme just like his Vaporeon copy pasta from back in the day. Where do you find these copy pastas? Alright, I feel like I had something else to say, but I forgot and I buried my head in chat, but let's continue with the PowerPoint. All the same alliance speculations as last month. We didn't get any alliance progression outside of Annie last chapter, so all the speculation we did last month's last minute predictions video carries over here. Flock is probably still alive. Will we see him this chapter? What will he do? Falco has to come to terms with transforming for the first time. What's he going to do? Is Gabby still mourning over the death of her father, Magarth? What is Armin silently thinking up in the back of class? It's starting to rhyme a little bit. Is Yelena slowly being convinced? What's Connie's general mindset right now? Who's dying next? This chapter will likely focus on these questions. Again, if it's an alliance chapter, at least some of these things have to be progressed upon. Probably the Flock stuff, or maybe that's the cliffhanger for this chapter, he's holding on to the fucking boat from underneath as it flies or whatever the fuck. Somehow, we didn't get a death thing of Flock, and we will get that when he dies, probably. Again, I've talked about Eren probably killing him. The thing I was going to comment on in chat before was, if Eren's doing this all for his friends. Eren's definitely doing this all for his friends. He thinks he's doing it to, protect his people, which includes his friends. He's just an idiot. But yeah, I don't know. What do we go over? Flock is alive. What will he do? He'll probably kill somebody. I think that's probably the thing for him to survive. And then, or maybe not. Maybe he just hides on the thing. They make it to Eren. They all go to have a confrontation with Eren. Flock jumps up and is like, "Hey, I'm still alive." Starts pointing guns at people. Maybe he shoots someone in the arm. Maybe we get a fake out death moment, and then Eren kills him. That would be interesting. If he were to like shoot Armin or Mikasa or something, well, probably not Mikasa because we have to deal with the "I always hated you" thing. But like if he shoots like Hanji in like Hanji's had too many death fake outs. If he shoots John, we're deciding John. People have speculated that he might kill John, and it like grazes his face or something very convenient where it makes it look like he's dead, but he's not. And then Eren kills him because Eren's like, I'm trying to protect my friends, you fucking idiot, and he hits him out of the way. This trope, we've talked about this trope before about like the second in command getting out of control and the main bad guy killing him, and then you're like, hey, maybe he's all right, only to then double down on the main bad guy being a bad guy too. Normal narrative convention shit. It might happen. So we'll see what happens with Flock. Falco has to come to terms with transforming. There has to be more than just like that one fight scene for a reason for why Falco had to become the Jaw Titan and his weird new bird design. Maybe he flies with Gabby on the back to shoot Eren for the final shot. That would be cool. I've always been Team Gabby and said that Gabby is probably going to be the one to like defeat Eren or convince him or whatever. That's what I used to talk about like a year ago. But then I always get haunted by the fact like the Marley arc starts with Falco. Falco's the one reaching up. We get his perspective first. Gabby's introduced later in that chapter, like alongside Zofia and Udon. Or Udo, whatever their characters' names are, where she's just like another one of them. And then she does a big impressive thing after that. But I feel like maybe Falco might be the boy, which is sort of depressing because Falco's sort of totally boring and Gabby's awesome. But we'll see. Gabby's definitely got more focus than Falco since then. But we'll have to see what happens there. So the Falco stuff, Falco is like, there has to be a reason why he's the new Jaw Titan. What is he, Titan? Yeah, Jaw Titan. Bird Jaw Titan. Is Gabby still mourning over her father's death, McGarth? Probably. She's probably still sad. Gabby, like Eren, I think is being saved right now. We're focusing on other characters to get back to her at the very end because she's going to be tied into the very end stuff. Just like Armin. Like there's like characters that are coming into focus now, like Annie, where it's like, all right, we'll wrap her stuff up and then she'll be out of the way for the end stuff. But like Armin, Mikasa, Gabby, like they're not talking much in these past few chapters. Gabby really didn't talk at the big meeting. She hasn't done a lot of stuff since they left. Were they in Trost or Shinganshina? They were in Shinganshina. We're taking the focus away from them to bring it back at the end. And Armin and Gabby and shit will come back then. Good structuring over here from our boy Isayama. Look at Pieck being the best. Kiyomi and stuff. Hanji, I can't wait to see how everything turns out here. What is he going to do with these fucking characters? We're getting new Attack on Titan soon. Isn't that fun? It's exciting. Is Armin silently thinking up in the back of class? Armin's final master plan stand is being thought up because he's not speaking. He's super depressed. He had to kill his friends. What's he going to say to Eren? What's his big final speech going to be? Get excited. Is Yelena slowly being convinced? Yelena is being very cynical about how this alliance will never work. She's seeing it working now. She'll come over eventually. There's a reason, again, thematically and narratively, why she's being brought along here and hasn't been killed off yet when she could have been. She has to have some sort of role. What's it going to be? It'll be fun to find out. What's Connie's general mindset now? Who's dying next? Connie obviously still fucked up. Connie got a lot of focus right before here. I think you'll get one big last character moment that might be a death. But yeah, making Connie very interesting at the end has been one of my more favorite parts about the last 5 chapters or so. Connie's he's a fun character, you know? Who's dying next? Let's see, who's dying on here? Yelena might die. Anya Capon would be like a sympathetic death. We'd hate to see him die. It'd be a sad thing. Gabby definitely not dying. She's a queen. Pieck for the same reason. Hanji, we don't know about. John, probably gonna survive. Kiyomi, maybe big sacrifice moment. That'd be cool for her. She fucking crashes the plane into Eren's suicide. I don't know, having the one Japanese character do the suicide kamikaze move might not be the best now that I think about it. Though the fact that Isayama is Japanese, he has the pass, right? He has the kamikaze pass. That's about all I have for that. Fuck, my phone's going flat. I didn't even realize. I gotta read chat for this fucking video, so we better keep that in mind. I just went over a bunch of shit, so chat's probably going insane. Minty's saying some stuff. I'll probably read that one. How does the Annie stuff not make sense? It ended up working perfectly. Son of Poseidon's probably being dumb again. I'm going to spam it in a second. I've always thought that too, Kyle. We also saw Falco around during the Marley arc, talking to Eren, etc. True. Gabi doesn't become much of a character until the end of the Mali arc. Her, she's introduced as basically the antagonist for Falco for a little bit there, right? And she takes, a lot of the action, as in taking action, not, the action scenes, though I guess she does that too. She's quite a bit of a character before then, but the focus, the protagonist is, Reiner and Falco then. As it's not clear, her development will be focused until the end. Though it could just be the two of them, right? It could just because we've talked about the parallel before about how they're a parallel to Mikasa and Eren, whereas Falco is just trying to protect Gabi. Gabi and Eren are similar in every conceivable way. You've heard that a million times. But it's the less fucked up version. They're not brother and sister really, not at all. Whereas Mikasa and Eren sort of are, not biologically, of course. Stepbrother. But Falco already admitted his feelings for her and things like that. It's the way to do the relationship, not in writing terms, but in real life, to do the relationship right between Gabi and Falco compared to how Mikasa and Eren went about their relationship. Since Mikasa and Eren, it's unsure if Eren gives a fuck about Mikasa at all. But Falco and I keep being scared I'm saying Flock instead of Falco because I fuck that up all the time. But Falco and Gabi clearly do care about each other quite a bit. And also the younger version, the older generation is fucked. All the Japanese media has that fucking theme. Though there are the obvious hints of her being the Eren parallel. Well, it's interesting too, right? If Falco is the more of the main character, it's seeing it from Mikasa's perspective this time, which is fun. Though we're seeing from everybody's perspective now. No one is as much of a main character anymore as Eren was for the first 90 chapters. And that's why Attack on Titan got a lot better. This chapter showed her responding to Hanji saying the world is important, so it's doubling down on her motivations. I'm just scrolling through everybody that's not Minty right now. What if all the characters in that panel and by the end watching Megarth blow up are all the ones who will die in the Alliance? I seriously doubt Gabi is dying, just by the fact that she's 14 or 13 or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Everybody else is dispensable. These are the dispensable characters, really. Mikasa and Armin have to make it to the Eren thing. Hanji's had 1 million death flags. She's had 5 fake-out deaths at this point. She's a survivor. John could die. Kiyomi and these two are more ancillary characters. Pieck would be a big punch in the gut. Pieck doesn't have as much thematic characterization. She's just we like Pieck because she's super cool and stuff. It's mostly aesthetic there. So maybe. So that leaves Annie, Reiner, Connie, Mikasa, and Armin. I don't think that's literally it. I don't think Gabi will die. I think Connie's Reiner will definitely die. I don't think Annie will, because you have to have Annie and Armin sex at the end. That'll be fun. Yeah, Reiner will die. I'm almost certain of this. Reiner, the whole point of Reiner, with the putting the gun in his mouth is and then Falco knocks on the door outside and is frustrated, and it's Reiner realizing he can't die yet, he has to help the next generation. And after he does that by saving the world and becoming a hero, and becoming our Hellos boy, I think he can die peacefully knowing that he's redeemed himself for all the bad things he's done. He can die at peace rather than survive and get depressed 5 years after the fact because he would be dead anyway because of the Titan stuff. Because his wife doesn't like him, is what I was going to say. I was making a joke about how life is miserable and dying is better for our boy Reiner. Crashing this plane with no survivors, Minty says. Not Minty, Mighty Germ says. Carl has the K pass, maybe. Maybe I do. Nah, he's being built up for something big, I think. I don't know, I'm not reading all this chat. Reiner about to shoot himself. I can't die yet because I've killed so many people. I've killed many, yes. Carl Fritz is literally just Thorfinn. What an idiot. Not really. Are we gonna meet Carl Fritz? We gotta keep that in mind. I don't think so. Through a flashback or something. That's just something I believed a long time ago. Wait, isn't Annie still biologically 15? Well, she's a year older than them, so she's biologically 16, right? And maybe she aged all at once when she got out of the thing. We can work around this. 16 is good enough, right? You know what the age of consent is? 16 around these parts. But so let's talk about Levi, not the age of consent. Think Levi cares about the age of consent? You'd hope so, right? We've kind of been talking about Levi a bit lately. Shout out to the new video. And he is my favorite character. So what's coming up for Levi, and more specifically regarding his still apparent hate boner for Zeke? This is something that a lot of people have been speculating about recently that I wanted to give an opinion on. To sort of frame what I think is going to happen. Because a lot of people are like, Levi's not good, he still just wants to kill Zeke, and that's dumb. Which I don't know if that's really true. Minty says, told you. Well, I only brought it up because Minty said that I was going to bring it up, and I had to make the obvious joke. So Minty didn't tell me anything. He instigated the entire conversation. We're on the third layer of that joke now, Minty. Pretty embarrassing, you being on the second layer. I think he and Zeke may be parallels in the way that both of them are, both of them being mutilated former soldiers of a war they refuse to let go. Time has passed them by. So that could be a thing where they refuse to forgive each other, and sort of Levi, I like the idea of Levi like being the one holdout, like piece of shit is not going to get over it. I am fully down for my favorite character to become like the dumb fuck at the end of the series. I'm completely okay with this. Unlike the Eren people who seem to be fighting tooth and nail any idea of Eren being a dumb fuck. Even though the evidence keeps piling up. They'll just continue the theme of having to overcome your personal hatreds for the greater good, and they'll end up working together with the Alliance to stop Eren. Remember, Zeke got a major character moment with Grisha. Fuck me. Remember, Zeke got a major character moment with Grisha, then disappeared. They both have some big roles to play still, otherwise Isama would have just killed them off. So yeah, obviously they're both around for reasons. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know if Levi has one big final fight stand, even though he lost 2 fingers or whatever. We'll have to see. In that regard, he's pretty fucked up, but Zeke is arguably more fucked up, even though he has regenerative abilities, even though some people speculate Levi might as well. Or Levi will just become a shifter or some shit. Half of Zeke's back, like the entirety of Zeke's back was gone. So it would have taken him a while to regenerate, probably. And then he would have left like Shinganshina after them. The point is, Zeke is coming back. Anybody that thinks Zeke is done, is like finished, is a fucking idiot. He literally just got the big like change in character like perspective. His entire character has been, man, I hate my dad. Holy shit, that's why the fucking Zeke and Levi are like rivals or whatever. They connect and they're interesting when they butt heads with each other because they're both just big boys with daddy issues. But Grisha's entire thing has been, I hate my dad, he was bad, but I sort of got the point of what he was trying to say. Let's continue with this LDA restoration stuff. Let's bring an end to this conflict is what he's trying to bring up. And like Zeke finally had the moment where he like got past his issues with his father through the time travel, whatever the fuck, and they have the conversation where Grisha like gives him the motivation to continue. He gives him his call to action. He's like, you gotta stop Eren. You gotta be the one. You gotta do it. And obviously, just like I was talking about before, where like Armin and Gabby and Mikasa have been left off to the side while we focus on other characters, same with Zeke. Zeke is going to be one of those characters that's very important at the very end, after we've like finished up with some other characters. So Zeke is going to come back. It's going to be the end of a chapter sometime. It's going to look like Eren's going to win, and Zeke's going to throw some fucking boulders at him to save him. And he's going to be on that side, and that'll motivate Yelena to fully help out. And all this stuff will happen. I'm pretty sure they're going to work together and do like the, well, I can't forgive you, but let's work together thing. Or Levi will just watch. I think Levi and Eren having like another conversation, like an honest conversation at this point, would be very interesting. The only interaction we've gotten between Levi and post-time skip Eren is when Eren gets first back into the airship and Levi kicks the shit out of him like old times. Like, it'd be interesting to see them talk and be like, what the fuck were you doing? Like, if Eren still has like an inferiority complex with Levi because he's like looked up to him for so long, that would be interesting and shit like that. But yeah, that's what I think will probably happen. That was more a Zeke conversation than a Levi one. But yeah, we'll have to see. I don't think it's just like Zeke and Levi are going to fight ever again. I don't think we're going to get a third one. And I was gonna say I don't think either one of them will die because they would have been killed off. I don't like that. There's always gonna be like a response like, well, Isam just too scared to kill him off because Levi fans would be mad. I don't think so at all. I think if Levi was done, like the explosion moment with Zeke would have been the perfect time to kill him off. And it's sort of bullshit in retrospect that like fight didn't mean anything. Well, I guess it did have consequences because Levi is injured and might not be able to fight again. But if Levi does end up fighting again, and so does Zeke after that fact, even though he had to meet Ymir and that had some, like, it wasn't pointless, but it definitely lessened that moment if neither one of them died. Like, if there was not really that much consequence from that fight, from that big explosion where we thought Levi was dead, potentially, after that chapter. So we're going on to our last panel here. Let me check in chat again. Minty's talking about Annie's pussy. That's fun. What's going on here? I need Zeke and Annie to bond over their daddy issues, and then, maybe. There's a theory that Rod Reese is Levi's dad. Maybe. That's why he's so short and stuff. Makes sense. He was probably into prostitutes. That's fun. Yeah, right. His story, his mother was a prostitute, and then she got moved to the farm after he got her pregnant. Right. That was that shit. That was the story there. Not a dumb fuck, just a psycho. But Eren's always been a dumb fuck. He definitely has been. Also, fun fact: if you pull out, oh no, here we go. Minty's. I nearly read a Minty meme one. Xana showed up. Damn, I forgot this was happened. Chat seems to be utterly pointless at this point. I don't know. Nothing seems to be going on in chat. So we'll just continue here with our... The audience is reading chat more than I am because it's on the screen here. But let's continue. This is our last fucking panel, alright? We keep reiterating that everybody is tired of fighting. This is something that's happened. I mentioned this earlier with the Annie thing, but this is a theme right now. They all look fucking exhausted. We'll talk about this. Look, Falco's got little jaw things on his cheek there. I didn't notice that. Annie's monologue from the beginning of chapter 130 is all about how she's too tired tired of trying to motivate herself to kill the scouts and Eren anymore. How she's too tired, whatever, you understand. But where are we going with this? At some point, but what's the point of this? Why are we reiterating constantly that everybody's tired and sick of fighting? Are we trying to say that at some point we all just get tired and give up, or are they going to all motivate each other to make one final stand despite how tired everybody is? Are we just building up how beat up they are to stack the odds against them even more so it's more remarkable when they win? I feel like this is the thing. Like, everything is going wrong for the Alliance. The world is against them. Eren's rumbling is against them. They're all tired. They all hate each other. But somehow they're still going to overcome all of this to do what's right in a big heroic final stand worthy of ending the series. And it's going to be fun. And the Jaegers are going to be mad. But yeah, I feel like this is what this means, where they're reiterating that everybody's tired all the time. It's like everybody's exhausted, but they're still going to win, and it's going to feel like a real struggle, and like it could go either way, and at the last minute they're going to pull through. I think that's what we're building up to here. Isayama keeps hitting on this thematically. It's been a long conflict. I wonder what the payoff to this will be eventually. What's the point? Last of Us Part 2 shows how much it's been taken out of them. I think like it's showing how much everybody's given up and struggled to be at this point. The ending of The Last of Us 2 is similar to this, where it's like, what are we doing? What's the point of this? Why are we still fighting? This seems so fucking stupid, but we still have to do it. So there we go. I feel like that's sort of the point here. No one really wants to fight. Nobody's like clamoring like, yay, let's all go kill Eren and save the world. It's just like, ugh. Fucking, well, I guess we got to stop this and nearly kill ourselves to do it, and probably kill some of us. So I feel like that's the point being hit on here. I just realized Annie's character is kind of the opposite path of Eren. She starts out how he is now and is now gaining empathy and a sense of greater purpose. Maybe. As a theory to why Levi is so short, because he grew up underground. But everybody that grew up underground isn't like that, right? Titan's powered by sunlight, and we haven't seen this effect in Ackerman's. So it's because he's specifically in Ackerman, I see. I think Levi is just short because it's a cool aesthetic to have the short dude beat everybody up. Let's see. I think we're done with this, but let me read chat for a little bit. Yeah, but because she started self-finding out, Eren only has 13 years left. I don't know what we're talking about. The Ackman photosynthesis theory is hilarious. Yes, they need sunlight too, right? Everybody needs sunlight. Mikasa got as much food as in she was given up food. She lost her appetite due to depression. Oh, because of when they were in the cave thing. Yeah. Talk Minty, I didn't know that theory. But I think that's it for our YouTube audience. I think we've done an okay time. I don't know. This video felt like it was a lot longer than it usually is. But there's a lot to speculate about when you actually think about it. We're coming up on the end here. I'm excited. There's a new chapter coming out. Of course, none of this will happen. Everything we've speculated about will not happen. If you can guess it'll happen, it won't happen, is usually how I handle predictions. But be sure to check back in a few days, as the final panel says. And expect a review here on the channel. Last time the review did better than last minute predictions, so that was cool, and I liked that. So hopefully that'll be replicated again, and this video will fail. With that cheerful note, I think it's time to say support links in the description below. Thanks.